Hi guys, it's Leah. Welcome to my channel. Hope everybody's feeling very well. Today I am going to be doing a foundation review. It's my first one, so please bear with me. The product we will be talking about and using and reviewing is the Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation, and this is by Maybelline. I'm sure everybody has heard and seen this. I've never used this before. What deters me from using this sort of foundation is I'm not really full coverage wearer. I'm not keen on matte finish. I personally prefer more of a dewy look, but I thought I'd give it a go. Now I found this in Asda. Singly it is £9.99. You get 1 ounce of product in there, but they had a deal on that if you bought this, you could get this. This is the Dream Radiant Liquid. You get 2 for £12, which is a fantastic deal. You could buy 2 of these or 2 of these, or do what I did and buy 1 of each. I just think it has to be the Maybelline. So I'll do that next week. We'll give that a go and see how good this one is. But for now, we're going to settle with this one. Now I have tried it for about 3 or 4 days. I've got a couple of positives and a few negatives about this foundation. I've wrote a few notes down because I don't want to forget anything. So it claims that it's full coverage. I'd agree with that. It does have a pump dispenser, which I like for hygienic reasons. Lightweight. Now it does go on kind of lightweight, but the first hour or so I felt it takes a little while, I think, to adhere to your skin from the heat from your body. So I feel like when I first put this foundation on, I did feel like it wasn't heavy, it was lightweight, but I just felt like it really settled into all my fine lines, my wrinkles. It kind of emphasised everything that I have wrong going on my face. But after an hour or so, I really like the look of this foundation. I think it's really nice. I got mine in the shade colour 10 Ivory. I didn't feel like, for me personally, it did oxidise very much. It did slightly, and I can get away with that, it's fine. I think there's also about 20 shades that you can pick from. My Asda didn't have the full range of shades, but this is readily available practically anywhere. Okay, also I did, when I first put this product on, I did use a primer. I did not like the results from using a primer. The next day I used without primer, and I feel like it's such a better result. I felt like with the primer, it actually did emphasize my pores, my imperfections quite a lot, where without the primer, I just felt like it did give a better finish. It does claim that it doesn't block pores, by the way, but I felt it did with a primer. Now, I would say this stays on all day, and as I said, I feel like the longer you wear this through the day, the better the foundation looks. I think at first when you pop this on, it's quite scary. And I was so tempted to wipe it off, but I stuck with it, wore it for the day, and I felt like the results were good. I didn't feel like it shifted. Would I say it was full coverage? I suppose it's buildable, but then you've got the risk of it looking cakey. I prefer a more natural look, a more dewy look than a matte. This is something I'd probably reach for on a night out. I'd use this more for a day foundation than I would probably during the day. What else can I tell you? Skin type. My skin type is, it can be dry to oily, depending on the weather. I think at the moment my skin is behaving. I do get a kind of a little bit oily on the T-zone. But I feel like this could be quite drying. So if you do suffer with dry skin, this may not be an option, or you may need to like moisturize before you go ahead and use this. So I think that's all there is regarding the actual product. So should we go ahead and give it a go? So before I did doing this, I did my eyes, just to let you know, because I'm sure I will be asked. On my eyes, I have used the Beauty Bakery Proof is in the Pudding palette. I have to say I love this palette. I did have this up as one of my giveaways. Love, love, love. It goes on beautifully. It seems to blend quite easily, and I like them shade colours because they're more of an all-day colour that I tend to reach for. I did put a little bit of something in my brows because I know I'm not supposed to, but I used a little bit of Gimme Brow, which is good. It just gives a little bit of coverage. And I also use this Model Co. This is a clear, like, brow gel, but it's like clear. Well, it's not now, but it is. On my lashes, I used my SOS. This is a lash booster, which I love. Comes out white. It's like a white. It's like a primer. And for mascara, I use the Better Than Sex. I'm only using this because I need to use it up. I must be the only person in the whole wide world that actually does not like this. I don't like the formula. It's so like wet and gooey, and so much product just comes out on the brush. Can you see this? And I've even sat it up the way to see if that makes a difference. So if anybody's got any tips about why there is so much formula for a start on the brush, and I'm actually holding up the way. I don't pump. I don't need to pump because there's so much product on it. It is quite new, to be fair, so maybe I just have to wait for it to get a little bit older. But even like Beauty Pie all the way for me, I'm afraid. I just love Beauty Pie mascara. Okay, and then I also on my eyes use this Rimmel Magnify Eyes. So basically this is like a cream colour here. I didn't use this end. It's very soft, so nice. And on the other end it's got like a more of a matte, well this is more of a glossy kind of look. This is more like mattifying. So I use that just around my eye area. And I have got a cold, so I apologise if my voice is sounding a little bit off. I seem to be getting these colds. I'll get rid of them and then they're back. Okay, so the skin. I did prep my skin ready. I do feel like foundation settles better for me when I put on my skincare and I kind of leave it for practically as long as I can, like 20 minutes, half an hour even, just to give the skincare that I put on a chance to actually absorb into my skin. I feel like if you're shoving loads and loads of products on, I feel like that can sort of contribute towards foundation looking particularly cakey. I'll be applying the foundation with a damp beauty blender. Now, I tried it with a brush. The results were okay. I did feel like there was a few like brush marks, and I also felt like this did settle more into my problem areas. I feel like this gives probably a bit of a lighter, what's the word I'm looking for? Look, I guess. I don't know, it's because the beauty blender is obviously damp. But yeah, I found it better just to stick with that. But you know, this is something personal and something you'll have to kind of play with yourself. Okay, so the formula itself comes out. It does feel quite lightweight. It is kind of moving. I wouldn't say it's super uber thick, but it is kind of moving. So I tend to put a blob on my hand rather than smack it all in my face, and I realise that I've gone a little bit over the top. So I just dip my beauty blender in, get some product, and then dip the product with the beauty blender on my face. And a little bit more here. Now I'm using my camera viewfinder, so excuse me if I make a bit of a mess with it. And then obviously with the beauty blender, I'm just going to squish that all over the place. So as you can see, I mean, it does kind of like, I think particularly with the Beauty Blender, it does blend out okay. And just a bit more on my forehead. And the cakiness I felt as well was more prominent on my forehead, where it really did settle into all my fine lines, and it didn't look very good. And I also managed to fix that by just spraying some setting spray on my face, and again with the Beauty Blender I just went in and did what I'm doing now, and it did take down some of the cakiness. So I'm just going to check in my mirror here. I'd say that was all blended in now. Now, as I say, you probably, I haven't tried, but you probably could build this up. But for me, I have got enough coverage on there that I am really happy with. I think if you go in a little bit too heavy-handed, that's when you start having problems with it looking cakey and overdone. Now, I also don't normally powder, because again, sometimes maybe it's me, I'm not using powders correctly, but I can find that sometimes using the powders, again, they can sink into all my naughty parts on my face. But I feel like you do need to actually just blob a little bit of powder here and there with this particular foundation. Right, okay. So, I don't know if you can see, let me bring you a bit closer. But I mean, it's okay. It is quite matting, and like I say, I do feel like the results look better when you've had this on your face for about an hour, just to give it a little chance to, I don't know, like settle into your skin, absorb. And I do feel as the day goes on, it looks so much better than what it does now. But actually, you know, it's not too bad. I quite like it, but I definitely prefer not using that foundation with a primer. Definitely no primer for me. I mean, you know, at the moment, this is not settling into my pores. I have a little bit into my, I would say, my wrinkles, my eye wrinkles, and around my mouth for sure. I do feel like with matte, for me, it emphasizes wrinkles and any, I don't know, imperfections that I do have. But a lot of people say that a dewy foundation on a mature person highlights imperfections. I don't know. I'm just weird. I just prefer it the other way around. So I'm now going to move on to a little dollop of concealer, because I want you to see how other makeup items do sit on the skin. With this, I found that it was absolutely fine. So I just put a little bit of concealer on. This is the Rimmel Last and Radiance. I love this. And it's in the colour shade, oh, this is in 10 Ivory as well. Although that's a hell of a lot lighter than that one. And a little bit round here. And again, I'm just going to use my Beauty Blender to blend in the concealer. I like that concealer because it does, I feel, make me look a bit more awake. It does give a radiance to it, which I suppose some people wouldn't like, putting a matte foundation on with a radiant concealer, but I prefer to have eyes that look awake and not drying. Okay, so that's that done. Next I'm going to powder down just a little bit, because I don't like that cakey feel. So let me just find a little brush. So for today I'm going to use Style Banana Setting London Style, sorry, or Style London. It's Style London, apologies. Banana setting powder. And it looks like that. So I just tend to pop my brush in just like the top of the brush, and I really like get rid of some of that product. And I'm just lightly under the eye. We don't want it looking any more cakey than we can possibly. Again. I'm just going to sweep some over my forehead, down my nose. There. So that is absolutely a light dusting of setting powder. I do not want to go over the top. This is all down to personal choice. This is just how I feel. That for me, my biggest thing is I do not want my fine lines being massively emphasised. Right, next I'm going to show you some products to put on the cheeks. So I'm going to put on some highlight and some blush. And for that I'm going to be using the Beauty Pie. This is, so you've got setting powder, we've got, I don't ever know whether bronzer or the other one, contour, is the same thing to me. We've got a little highlighter here, and then we've got blush. So I'm going to start off with blush using a Real Techniques blush brush. So I'm just going to sweep into the blusher there. Now, I don't like the heavy look of blush. I don't like looking too made up. I do like to try and keep it minimal, unless obviously I'm going out somewhere or it's an evening time, then there's no stopping me. So I always tend to start with a light hand with blush, a big fluffy brush. And just try, what's that saying, less is more, less is more. And then going to go in with some highlight. So let's find, what did I do with that? So this is a Real Techniques. This is a setting brush. I'm going to use that for a bit of highlight. And then just pop some of that on. So, you know, this foundation, it does accept products on top. I haven't tried sort of cream products on with this foundation before. I'm just looking in the mirror. I've got one behind the camera there. Right, okay, so I'm quite happy with that. Less is more and all that. And today I'm just going to blob a little bit of lip gloss on. This is a Morphe lip gloss in the shade colour, I don't know, I can't see it. Can you guys make that out? This is so pretty. It's got like iridescent glitter bits in it, but it doesn't show up on the lips with glitter in it. So I'm not feeling my best today, so Right, okay, and then I'm going to finish the whole look off with just a little bit of spray, like I said, just to, I feel, stops it from looking a little bit too cakey. Although I don't feel like today it does look cakey, so I'm contradicting myself. I don't know. Some days I have good day makeup, some day I have rubbish day makeup. Now I'm just going to spritz some of this on. Not too much, you don't want everything all wet and blotchy. Get my beauty blender, this is Real Techniques blender, and then just kind of mush that in a little bit. And I think it just helps give you a little bit of dewiness. And I just think it just helps make the foundation look a little bit better. Do you agree or do you not? This is the question. Right, okay, my lovely, so that is my first Foundation Friday. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments down below. I will be testing this one. So I'll start testing that from tomorrow, Saturday, so I can give you a true review. I've only used this one for a couple of days. But I think this is something I will reach for more on, like I said, a night time. Than a day. I don't know. I mean, it looks fine now. It looks really nice. And I do like, after a little while, it just looks even better and better. So who knows? I don't know. What I'll do is I'll take a photograph and I'll pop it up somewhere, and then that'll be like an hour or so later. See if you can see the difference. I'll do it side by side. I'll do one now, and the other photo will be for an hour or so. See if you can see whether the foundation actually looks a little bit better. Right, thanks for joining me and watching my YouTube video. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Bye for now. Take care. Bye.